international rules are clear in this sense. We cannot terrify civilians, and we cannot target places where civilians are living, whether the military people have entered their premises or not. They can never know if any weapons were hidden somewhere in their areas or buildings. If a building was used by a military organization, we cannot hit the whole building. This is an international standard.
I have a message for the people of Lebanon. Israel's war is not with you. It's with Hezbollah. For too long, Hezbollah has been using you as human shields.
We have investigated this repeatedly and have virtually never found any incidents of Hamas or Hezbollah deliberately using civilians to shield its forces from attack. The law does not say you may never put your military equipment or your military forces among civilians. It says you must seek to avoid it as much as possible. Obviously, Hamas and Hezbollah have placed their material and forces within civilian areas, just as Israel does. The law continues to require any party to the conflict, whether Hamas or Hezbollah or Israel, to limit its attacks to what can be specifically targeted as a military target. Is clearly an indiscriminate attack on civilians. The law only allows you to target combatants and those actively participating in hostilities. This requirement, the most fundamental requirement of international law, which is to distinguish between combatants and civilians, is one that Israel has forever ignored, and most recently obviously ignored in its pager attack. When Israel carries out its attacks, it just says, oh, we attacked terrorists. The reason they do that is because they know that they're not complying with the laws of war. Instead, what Israel does, and has done in Lebanon and is doing now in Gaza, is attack anything it wants that it chooses to label as terrorist, with no contours around what that term means. Their definition of terrorist includes thousands and thousands and thousands of civilians whom they deem to be somehow associated with a so-called terrorist organization, whether it's Hezbollah or Hamas.